Good morning and welcome, Patriot Radio News Hour. I'm Joe Jaquin, CEO of the Patriot Trading Group. How you doing? 800-951-0592. That is our toll-free number. The website at www.allamericangold.com. You know, I know you don't need the www anymore, but I like to say it. www. Remember when George Bush was president? I don't know where I was going with that. But anyway, speaking of what's happening, wow. We have an agreement to raise the debt ceiling, and it only cost us another $320 billion. What could possibly be wrong with that? The spending continuing. Elizabeth Warren, right? I was worried for a minute. I was. You know, yesterday Eric jumped on at the end of the broadcast. I'll just tell people out there, you never know when he's going to show up. But we're talking about everything's kind of going the other way, right? Republicans are now Democrats. Right? I mean, how many of them, try to bail on Trump all the time? But I mean, they'll spend anything, right? And we've said it forever. Doesn't matter, R, D, right, I, right, all these guys, whatever letters in front of their name, they all just want to spend our money, right? I mean, nobody called me. You know, did you get a letter, an email? You know, we got computers nowadays, and how about the emergency alert system? You know, now that, I got 1360khnc.com, our radio station up there, the mothership in Johnstown, Colorado. Right? Maybe they should have one of those. Instead of it being for weather, right? You know, this is a test of the emergency broadcast system. Maybe we can set it up to come in and say, your elected officials just agreed to spend another $320 billion that we don't have. I mean, we're running trillion-dollar deficits, but I told you, you know. And the debt over the next 5 years, just 5 years, is going to be another $12 trillion. And that's probably conservative. We're already at 22.5. And you just are left scratching your head. But Elizabeth Warren was out there warning about, the recession's coming, and I'm the one that can fix it. And I got worried for a minute. I thought maybe the Democrats were going to say, you know what? We're not signing this legislation. We're not raising the debt ceiling. Where's all the offsets? Remember, first it was, hey, we're going to balance the budget, right? That was like the 90s, right? That was late 80s, early 90s. Oh yeah, we're gonna balance the budget, and of course, those Clinton years there. Alan Greenspan telling us the debt was going to be paid off in 2010, and then we went to that ended, right? No more balance the budget, but we're going to maintain, right? Every time we want to increase spending in one place, we've got to have an offset, right? So remember we had the decade of offsets. No, we're going to offset it here, right? If we're going to increase food stamps, but we're going to cut defense, or we're going to increase defense, but we're going to cut, the justice system, whatever. Doesn't matter. Now, forget about those two, right? We don't need any offsets. Let's just spend it all together. And it has created quite an interesting environment. And then, of course, we've got, I'll say this, by the way. I have Glenn Biddle filling in for me on the morning show on 1360. So it's on the hour before this show begins. And, man, what a great show he had. He had Shelby Gallagher on from Prepping 2.0 tomorrow. Arizona, be ready tomorrow. I'm going to be off tomorrow. I'm going to be in violation of the 12-hour rule. One of my best friends out there, Big Dan, is having a big birthday bash tonight. And so I'm not going to be at work. You can figure it out. I'm going to be breaking the 12-hour rule. So Glenn Biddle is going to fill in for me tomorrow. But he's going to have Glenn Tate and Shelby Gallagher. If you don't know who these two people are, you're going to love it, especially if you're a prepper or thinking about prepping or want to learn more about it. That's going to be a great, great show tomorrow, and that'll be during the Patriot Radio News Hour. But he had a great thing today about Google and the word patriot. And like the thesaurus, right? Hey, give me a synonym for patriot. You would not believe what Google is now saying what another word for patriot is. And again, they're trying to redefine everything in the world. Colorado State, America's a bad word. My company's Patriot Trading Group. What if that gets me banned everywhere? Oh, that's banned. You can't use that word. Can't be a patriot out there anymore. It is absolutely crazy. I've got an update, too, today. The congresswoman from Minnesota, the one that inspired the send her back chant? I got an update for you all. You know what? I actually do believe it. Once again, the flaws of the United States immigration system, what she's been exposed for, and I would assume that would mean it's time for her to leave the country. So maybe she will go back. I'll tell you all about that next. 800-951-0592. I don't mean to laugh. I got to teach Wendy addition. So I wish these numbers were true. Wendy's handed me these numbers. So it's live radio. So you got to take this number plus this number minus that number. There you go. Hey, 800-951-0592. So this Representative Omar, right? Anan, if that's how you say it, I'm not sure. Anan Omar. She is the Muslim woman who has made absolutely, let's just call it what it is, racist, right? So if we're going to borrow a word from the left, let's just use it. Racist, horrible comments about our allies, about our involvement with Somalia and Israel and all. I mean, just, right? I think, what's so funny is every time Trump calls these people out, you ever notice his ratings go up? I mean, the left freaks out, right? And they censured him in the Congress for saying, hey, if you don't like it, go back, right? Go back. And apparently, this fine young lady, she's been under investigation. I've actually been following this for a while. And not until today has it gone public. So David Steinberg is the journalist that has been researching. See, there's a little problem with her past. A House ethics complaint has been filed by Judicial Watch calling for a probe into potential crimes committed by Omar and her brother. According to the complaint, substantial, compelling, and to date unrefuted evidence has been uncovered that the representative may have committed the following crimes in violation of both federal law and Minnesota state law, starting with perjury, immigration fraud, marriage fraud, state and federal tax fraud, and, of course, student loan fraud. The evidence is overwhelming that Representative Omar has violated the law and the House rules. The House of Representatives must urgently investigate to resolve the serious allegations of wrongdoing by Representative Omar, Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton said. So here's the complaint. And this is something where They tried to silence this. But they've been asking this question now for some time. Like I said, I've been following it for a while. Omar, a citizen of the United States, right now she's a Somali immigrant, married her biological brother. Yeah. A citizen of the United Kingdom in 2009, presumably as a part of an immigration fraud scheme. The couple, by the way, legally divorced in 2017. Right? So they I don't want to say this was an incestual relationship. That's not what I'm saying. They married each other, right? He's in England, she's over here. They married each other so they could commit fraud. Right? That was the purpose of the marriage. At least that's how I understand it. They divorced in 2017, and in the course of that divorce, Omar submitted an application for an order for service by alternative means to the state of Minnesota and claimed, among other things, that she had no contact with the now ex-husband, a.k.a. brother, after June of 2011. In other words, hey, we got married in 2009. The guy disappeared on me. That's what she was saying in 2017. She also claimed she did not know where he was. He just disappeared, right? I mean, normally when people disappear, right, especially if your spouse disappears, right? Normally, what would you do? Right? Normally, you would file a missing persons report. Hey, my husband just up and left. Either that or what? You murdered him, which in both cases didn't happen. The evidence developed demonstrates the high degree that Omar not only had contact with her brother, actually met him in London in 2015. So apparently there's pictures of this. There's always pictures, right? Omar signed the application for alternative means under the penalty of perjury. She actually, I guess, her signature where they sign. I declare under penalty of perjury that everything I have stated on this document is true and correct. Apparently, everything but what I've said in the document is true and correct. The fact that she met up with the guy after June 2011, before she signed the document, et cetera, I guess I want to go back, and it doesn't say in this particular one. There's a graft of it. So here's the brother. She marries the brother. They were doing it in an attempt to pay less taxes, get more money from our government, all of those things. She's refused all inquiry, so they've asked her, and this is what I was following, because they kept asking her. Judicial Watch kept asking her to comment, hey, this guy you said your husband, isn't he really your brother? And did he really disappear, or weren't you hanging out with each other in 2015? Omar has refused to comment or contradict any of the evidence being levied upon her. In August of 2016, Omar verified social media accounts were taken offline. Right? So she's trying to hide her. My guess is, it's just my guess, that if we asked Facebook or Twitter or Snappy Chat, right? Hey, can you let it, because they never get rid of anything. Hey, they still been talking at all, Do they really know what they've done? I wonder if there's even, an email, maybe a Gmail. Maybe we could ask Google if they could. Well, maybe they probably went the way of the Hillary Clinton emails, right? They just can't find them. But nonetheless, there you go. I'll try to keep you posted as to what is going to happen. But at least as far as I know, and like I said, I've been following this for at least the last couple of months. And I'm glad it's finally here now where they've taken the evidence to the Congress and said, hey, here it is. She married her brother. She knew it was her brother. Then she lied about the divorce decree and all of this stuff and all into student loan benefits, right? Because everything you get more. Right? You pay less taxes if you're married, right? You get more. Oh, no, I'm married, so we're even poorer now, right? Oh, well, give me more food stamps. Give me more student loans. Give me more, right? I mean, just, again, we need a total redo. You want to know what else makes this thing? We got GDP coming Friday, right? We got the Federal Reserve in their meeting next week. We got stocks near an all-time high, right? We got gold and silver rallying. Half the people out there say, right, the economy's going to crash. The others say everything's great, and we don't know what to believe, right? I don't know. I mean, I look at data like the trucking companies, right? They're all going out of business, dropping rates. Freight indexes are at the bottom. Home sales, by the way, we got home sales data. I'll get to that in the next segment. June was horrible, right? And things that are just, you scratch your head, but then you say, well, jobs are good, inflation, at least the number they use is low. But I think this says more about America than anything else out there. And this is how ridiculous and shallow that we've become as a society. Kylie Jenner. Okay, and I know a lot of you out there. I know you like to keep up with the Kardashians. Don't lie, right? I know on the weekend when there's nothing on, you're flipping over to E to keep up. I'm not going to lie. I've done it a few times. I admit it. I've done it. I've watched the Kardashians. So this is Kylie Jenner. She's only half Kardashian, right? Bruce, I don't know what Bruce's new name. I forgot Bruce's new name. And I'm not trying to be funny about it. I don't remember. But Bruce Jenner and Mama Kardashian, this is the youngest child in the group. She's 21 years old. She is the founder of Kylie Cosmetics. Now, I don't know much about it, but okay, it kind of fits, right? Kardashian, Jenner, models, makeup, right? For the second year in a row, Kylie Jenner beats out the likes of Beyonce, Taylor Swift, not to mention her own sister, Kim Kardashian, to dominate the list by earning $1.27 million per sponsored post. Yep, every time she sponsors something on her, I don't know if it's Twitter or Snapchat or Facebook, $1.27 million she gets, the highest earner in the world. 27% more than the $1 million per social media pick that the site estimated she earned last year. Maybe that's what I need. Well, here at Patriot Trading Group, right, we don't have any fancy spokesmen, and that should be your first indication. You want to know when you're getting ripped off, when you're buying gold and silver. If Pat Boone is doing a commercial, if any of these other, what I'll call semi-famous actors are doing the gold commercial for you, that's your first indication, right? The fact that they're on TV at all. There you go. It's another great indication. Anybody that wants you to call for free reports, especially the ones where they offer, right, they got this report and that report and the IRA report, and it's full color and this and that, and they brag about how many pages it is and a DVD and all. Do yourself a favor. Call a printer. I'm sure you know somebody that's a printer. Give them a call. And just ask them, hey, if I wanted a 6-page, full-colored brochure, how much would that be? And that'll just give you an idea. And then think about the fact that they probably send out 100, 200, 500,000 of them. They got to make all that money back. If Kylie Jenner is posting for a gold company, don't call them. Because you got to make up $1.27 million just for one post. That's more money than people without. Oh, come on. They got to try to throw this in because they got to be educated. More money than most people without a bachelor's degree make in a lifetime. I got news for you. It's more money than most people with a bachelor's degree make in a lifetime. Apparently, the average for an associate's degree in a lifetime, $1.1 million. We'll be right back.
This is the Phyllis Schlafly Report from Phyllis Schlafly Eagles. Mrs. Schlafly was a courageous and articulate voice for traditional values and common sense for more than 70 years. Now, continuing that legacy, the president of Phyllis Schlafly Eagles, Ed Martin.
Did you know that the word right, R-I-G-H-T, only appears in the original text of the Constitution one time? You might wonder what that reference is. I'll give you a hint. It isn't the right to abortion, health care, or welfare. It's actually the right to intellectual property. Article 1, Section 8, Clause 8 says Congress has the power to grant patents, trademarks, and copyrights so authors, artists, and inventors can profit from their work. The Founding Fathers put this in our nation's beloved founding document because they knew the importance of honoring innovation. If you think this doesn't apply to you because you're not an inventor, think again. Every man, woman, and child in the world is a beneficiary of America's superior patent system. When intellectual property is protected, inventors can compete openly. The free market system gives inventors the incentive to innovate. That's why America has always been a leader in technology. People know they can make a bunch of money if they invent something that makes life easier for others, so they dig in and they do it. This system gave us the washing machine, the microwave, and the iPhone. Democrats pretend that anyone getting rich is a crime against humanity. Nothing could be further from the truth. Trust me, a man who goes into cardiac arrest isn't going to mind if the guy who invented the defibrillator is rich because he sold lots of them. Intellectual property saves lives every day. Our U.S. patent system is a uniquely American tradition. America wasn't the first nation to grant patents to individuals. However, before the United States came around, you had to get special permission from the king or the queen to have your patent. Obviously, that was a very inefficient process. Everyday people with a vision and a plan had no hope of profiting from their own work and inventiveness. America changed all that by making patents accessible to every one of us. Just because you don't hear about patent law in the news doesn't mean it isn't important. We cannot let people strip away the economic engine that fueled American prosperity for so many years. Stand with me as we defend our excellent U.S. patent system and our inventor freedom.
This has been the Phyllis Schlafly Report from Phyllis Schlafly Eagles. American ingenuity should be celebrated and rewarded. Individual inventors should be protected from any threat, foreign or domestic, that would steal their patents and profits. At phyllisschlafly.com, we promise to stand up for those who work hard, innovate, and dream big. If that's you, join us at phyllisschlafly.com. And thanks for listening to the Phyllis Schlafly Report.
800-951-0592. I was just reading this story. She is the youngest self-made billionaire, by the way, Kylie Jenner. And she has 141 million. Instagram is the big thing that she uses, 141 million followers. But here's what was funny about this story. Outside of, it's ridiculous. But they gave the earnings of people in their lifetime. And I want you to remember, I want you to go back, and I know I talk about it a lot, I can't help it. When you make a good commercial, it's memorable. But the commercial where everyone's walking around with their 401k balances, you know the one I'm talking about. Everybody's a millionaire in that thing. And if they're not a millionaire, they're right next to a millionaire. Well, according to the Census Bureau. Okay? Not some think tank. Okay? This isn't a right-leaning or left-leaning or some random gold bug. No, this is the Census Bureau. Okay? It's the government reporting. They say that someone with an associate's degree, so an associate's degree, you made it through a couple of years of college before you realized you were getting ripped off. They make $1.1 million in their entire life. That's the average. So if you know the difference between average and median, so you know less than half the people even make that. Right? The average. High school graduates, you earn $910,000 in your lifetime. Now, how are you supposed to get these $1 million you're walking around? Now, let's go for the bachelor's degree or more. See, now here's the problem. They use the average number. So Jamie Dimon, right? He's got his bachelor's degree or more. All these CEOs, right? They all make huge amounts of money to make this number appear better. This is how they trick you into needing this quote-unquote college degree. So I really thought, man, this must be a huge number, right? 4 million, 5 million, 10 million in a life. This is a lifetime. Even with all the CEOs. 1.8 million. That's it. In your whole entire life. Now, here's the problem. Right? You got to pay taxes on all that stuff and payroll tax and all this. So, really, I mean, for most people to get to $1 million, it's pretty much not possible. Right? Just and where do I find this? Yes, in the report about how Kylie Jenner, in one post on Instagram, makes more money than pretty much most people in their entire lives. That is the new American economy. You know what? I don't blame her. God bless her. Way to go, right? Kudos to her mom. Whoever set up that deal, right? Maybe it was OJ. I don't know. Somebody deserves some credit. Existing home sales. Now, this hasn't been a number. It's not been good, we know. And again, at least, right, I don't know. It's this whole economy, and I really know where it is. Listen, we're just spending a lot more, right? We got a GDP number coming out Friday, okay, right now, before this data came out today. Atlanta Federal Reserve was saying 1.6. The range is about 1.2 to 2.2, right? So there's going to be an updated number on Thursday. I'll give it to you, and then we'll get the first reading of second quarter GDP on Friday. And I think this is how the logic's going to work. The higher the number, the little more concerning, right? Because, right, Wall Street wants rate cuts. So they want the lower the number, the better, right? This will be the bad news is good news type of a thing. And this data point is definitely going to probably make the number a little lower. So after a surprise rebound in May, existing home sales, and that's 90% of the homes market, they slowed a lot more than people were hoping for in June, down 1.7% month over month. By the way, existing home sales, 5 million annual rate, and this is summer, so this number will keep falling for the rest of the year because they do the annual thing and they try to annualize the sales. And we know once school starts, right, sales start falling for the rest of the year. So it looks like we're going to not even get 5 million. I mean, I just think back, and I say it all the time, you go back to 2000, right? 8 million was an average year. That was 7-8 million. I mean, all through the 90s and the early 2000s, that was the number. I mean, we had that the housing spike there during the bubble there. But nowhere close to hires. But here was the best part. Lawrence Yun, he's the head of the National Association of Realtors. Okay? You know what? We're going to have to get James Morgan on here and try to talk about this. Sales refuse to break out higher, he said. See, they just refuse it. It doesn't make any economic sense. With job creation, rising wages, and the stock market at records, how can we have 16 months of annual existing home sales declines? Well, you know what? That's really a great question. It's like the perfect analogy for where we're at right now. Wait a minute. Here's all the good data points. But yet, why is it no one's buying a home? No one's, there's no freight being shipped anywhere. I will say this. I have been saving this because I was waiting for this report to come out. And I've got a good idea about where the missing home sales are. Challenging conditions in the U.S. housing market, along with tighter currency controls by the Chinese government, caused a stunning drop in demand of American homes by foreigners. Uh-oh. I was wondering when this trade war thing was going to make a difference, because the Chinese were buying houses left and right. It says the dollar volume of homes purchases by foreign buyers. Now, this one's a little old. This is from April of 18. So the first of the tariffs was announced the February 28th. So this was at the beginning of the trade war all the way through March. Okay, so when I would say the escalations there weren't even here yet. Right, in March, think about it, in March, hey, we are still, we're days away from a deal. It dropped 36%, and then it got ugly. Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back after the break. I'm pretty sure Kylie Jenner doesn't support this program, but call an order from us anyway. 800-951-0592. Yesterday we were running those $10 Indians. I still got some available. They're what did it? Well, I forget even what I ran them at. $7.85, $7.85, and I'll tell you what. If you buy 5 of them, I'll take another $5 off. So put it to $7.80 if you buy 5 of them. But we got like a baker's dozen left. So 800-951-0592. Pick up the last of those $10 Indians because I think they're cool. I said it for 16 years now. My 2 favorite coins, the $5 Indian and $10 Indian. It's not even close. 800-951-0592 anytime. You can buy an Indian for less than a Liberty. You do it. And I'll say this. I don't know if you could ever do it in a $5. I don't think so. The $5, the male Indian, they're like $50 to, I think at the peak, probably $300 or $400 more than a $5 Liberty. So, and every once in a while you can do it on a 10. So today, help me again, Wendy. I lost my train at $7.85. $7.85. If you buy five of them, $7.80. And that would be, if you bought 5 of them, you're saving $15 over a $10 Liberty. I know it's live radio. By the way, $3,900 if you buy 5 of them at 800-951-0592. So I knew the Chinese bought a lot of houses. I had no idea. Do you know that for the last, not up until the trade war, China was buying over $30 billion a year in houses? That number, and again, remember now, this is before the trade war got worse, because this only goes to March, all the way down to $13 billion, a 56% decline Sorry about that. That's that. There's the alert. We'd like to alert you that the federal government is spending more of your tax dollars. I thought maybe it was a silver alert. That was an amber alert on my cell phone there. So there you have it. Home buying down by the Chinese by 56%. I think I just figured out where all the existing home sales went to. And again, so June, much worse than expected, down 1.7%, which will probably help the lower GDP. Think about second quarter last year. We had 4.2%. Now, part of the problem was they had to play games in last quarter. We did not grow at 3-1. I'm sorry we didn't. It was a paper thing. If we hadn't have done the paper thing, my guess is we would be talking, instead of 1.2 to 2.2, we'd probably be talking, 2.2 to 3.2. So, half a dozen of this, half a dozen of the right pocket, left pocket. I think the thing that we're going to find out after Friday is we no longer are growing at 3%. So maybe this budget deal is a good thing. An extra $325 billion, maybe we can get a few more percentage points on the GDP. Speaking of confusing, based on all the news, we have had record-breaking heat, right? Not here. I mean, we had a few hot days, right? We had, remember a few weeks ago I played in the Heat Stroke Open, but not really. Here it's been, normal. If anything, up until this, it's been pretty mild. It's gotten hot now, right? I mean, we can't lie about it. It's hot here. But it's not been bad. But everywhere you see on the news, the heat and this and that, right? Somehow weather now has become over-sensational, just like everything else. Despite the blistering heat wave all along the East Coast and the Midwest, air conditioner maker Lennox International said that colder weather was the key reason for cutting guidance and an underperforming second quarter. Yep, the Texas-based company, well, they missed estimates, right? They missed earnings. And here's what their CEO had to say. Significantly cool temperatures and higher precipitation across the United States adversely impacted our HVAC market, and the central regions where cooling degree days were down. I guess there's 30%. I don't know what that means. I guess it was 30% of the days it was even cooler. I don't know. It's participation? No, not participation. Precipitation. I'll get it right. I mean, I've always told you I'm not that smart. Was up 60%. So apparently it's been colder and it's been raining. But if you turn on the news, right, I mean, the glaciers are melting. Global warming is here. Everybody kill your cows, get rid of your cars, and save the planet. Oh, and don't forget paper straws. 800-951-0592. You know what? I didn't even tell you guys. When I was in California, there was a couple of places, I'm not going to lie to you, that did not bring a straw. And when you asked for a straw, you got the paper one. Which, by the way, it's not good, right? Obviously, paper and water don't go together. But I was actually surprised. Most of the places we were at, plastic straws. Yeah, go figure. Richmond, today, the other piece of economic data out. Richmond, the Richmond Fed, it came crashing down in its survey. The lowest level, by the way, in 6 years in Richmond. So I guess that offsets Philly had a good one, Richmond a bad one. Negative 26, by the way, the worst reading for backlog since 2009 out of Richmond. Final segment coming up. $800-951-0592. Make sure you flip over to 1360. Those of you that aren't in the Denver area, up there on the Front Range in Colorado, Got Glenn Tate and Shelby Gallagher today. Dave Hodges tomorrow. The open forum that immediately follows my show. It's just fantastic radio. And tomorrow, don't forget Glenn Biddle. I'll be off tomorrow. Glenn Biddle will be filling in for me, and he's going to have Glenn and Shelby on the air. And they're awesome. They're great authors, great preppers out there. I think you're really going to enjoy the show. Just to close out here, gold's down 6, 14.20. Silver's up 13.38. The Dow is kind of mixed. Everybody's waiting, right? We got GDP coming. Nobody's going to hedge their bets here. Still a little nervous. You know, they're 95% sure the Fed's going to cut next week, but just in case, and everybody will feel better if there's a bad GDP number on Friday, and what are they going to say? What's the tone going to be? What word are they going to change? All that stuff so you don't pay attention. None of it does. I'm going to tell you right now, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. I mean, they're all made-up numbers anyway, right? They're all seasonally adjusted. I mean, so, you know, and it's so funny. I love it. Oh, the Chinese, their data's not real. Neither's ours. By the way, and again, this just hit. I'm sure I'll talk more about this Thursday. J.P. Morgan. We believe the dollar could lose its status as the world's reserve currency. That's the headline. I don't want to get you, too excited, but 8 years ago, J.P. Morgan put together a chart listing all the world's, the reserve currency. Is Portugal, then Spain, then the Netherlands, then France, then Britain. Now it's us. And commenting that, I like this comment. Crisis takes much longer time coming than you think, and then it happens much faster than you would have thought, right? It's kind of like, how did you go bankrupt? Well, it was gradual at first, and then it was suddenly. Same thing. And according to, they got all these charts here. This report by J.P. Morgan, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 charts in here. I'll study it. I'll get back to you. Obviously, they're already, just in the little bit that I've seen, this is just breaking. China is going to be the one taking over according to this. I'll try to see if they give a time frame and all of that as well. Keep putting gold away. Keep putting silver away. We've got a fundamental shift in the gold market. Silver's getting ready to follow. Silver, we're looking for 1671. If it breaks 1671, we're going to hit 17. When 17 falls, you're going to get a $2 to $3 move in silver quickly. Now, is it going to be 1 day, 2 days? I don't know, but it'll be a quick move. And when you think about, silver is 1640. $3 is a lot. 800-951-0592. The open forum's coming up next.